2, 1. What's that show?
I know
Yes,
you see somehow.
Somehow
Wait,
the world will change for me and be so wonderful.
what theme song is that?
iCarly?
Okay, that's what I was going for, and then I started second guessing myself.
No, you got
Anyway,
it. Live life. Sorry.
Nope, just keep singing. That's fine.
No, good. I got it. I got all my
Okay,
singing out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bookmark'd.
Hi,
with Sara and
guys.
Des.
Yes, with Sara and Des. Welcome back. Welcome to another episode.
We're glad to have you this week for our first ever themed episode. First ever on this podcast. And basically what that means is that instead of like how most of our podcasts are just kind of like us chatting, it's going to be more of like a theme.
You see from the title. You could tell.
Who would have thought? Yeah, you can tell from the title. Today we're going to be answering some burning bookish questions. And basically what that means is like I came up with a few questions. Then we had you guys over on the podcast Instagram. So if you guys aren't following it yet, this is your podcastly reminder to go follow the podcast, because you guys can be involved in stuff like this
take part.
So basically, we're just going to be answering some burning bookish questions today. That's what we're going to be doing. But of course, we're going to, what's the drink of the episode? What are we doing?
I'm like nervous to show you my drink.
Why?
Because I got it this morning.
Oh, it's watered down?
Yeah.
You're still drinking it?
Yeah, I am. It's the same coffee as last week. And I've been trying out different kinds, but this one's my favorite so far. The brown, sugar
oat milk shake and espresso.
And I get it with only 2 shots because it comes with 3 and I get scared.
Yeah.
So I do too.
So what other coffees have you been trying?
I don't know. At Starbucks on like the app, I just like mix a bunch of stuff. I did that. I used to get a cold brew with the foam on top. Yeah. I tried that again, but the cold brew, I started shaking a little and I was like, I'm gonna have an anxiety attack soon. It was too much caffeine. That was not good. I did a caramel macchiato too. That was good, but it was too sweet. I don't think I like the sweet as much anymore.
I have been doing still my iced white mocha, but I have been trying their white macadamia cold foam, I think is what's called. Like their white macadamia cold brew, but I've just been doing the cold foam on it.
Is that the one you tried when you came here?
I tried the cold brew and didn't like it. But then I tried the cold foam of it and liked it. So whatever. But
I'm so
glad. I also have a homemade coffee in my hydro flask.
Oh, I
guess I can't choose who to support.
Did you see? I said, oh yeah. I said that Hydro Flask is coming out with like this shaped bottle, and it's funny because when we talked about this the first episode, you were like, I hate that the Hydro Flask doesn't fit in the cup holders. Yeah, but they're fixing that issue.
But you know what? If I was Stanley and I came up with that design, and then my biggest competitor stole it from me,
completely stole it.
I'd be a little upset spaghetti about that.
Can't you like
copyright? But I don't think so. I don't like a particular design. I don't think so, because when you think about it, like when you go into Target, there's like Simply Modern cups that are just like the Stanley cups. So it's like I don't know about patenting like any of that stuff.
Well, they just took it and they're running with it. And you know what?
Oh yeah,
I can't wait to see the colors they come out with, because they have some cute ones.
Are unmatched. Before we dive into today's burning bookish questions, I had a few talking points that I wanted to tell you about.
Oh, okay. Tell me.
First of all, did you see that the It Ends With Us production stopped?
Yes.
How do we feel about
it? I think it was for the better.
Well, it's not because of like fans. Like fans didn't stop it. It was something with the like.
There's a writer's what's it called?
Yeah, the writer's strike, and like something with a production company was happening that made it no longer a thing. Which I'm sure they'll finish it. I think it's just like once the writer's strike is done, that's when they'll like get into all of that. But
I hope they take this time to like
reevaluate
take
the whole
some
entire
feedback.
movie and start over.
Yeah. Take everyone's feedback, the reader's feedback, if you will, before they start up again.
And on that note, did you see the casting for the Good Girls Guide to Murder series? Pip
they
and
did
Ravi,
so good.
Perfect. Like, because if you guys watched Wednesday, she was the like main side character. She was like the best friend in Wednesday. And
I didn't watch that.
I did, and I got a lot of people in my DMs and stuff when that show was popular. They're like, she reminds me so much of you, like her character, because the thing is like, obviously Wednesday is like, her room's like all dark, and then her side of the room is like pink and purple.
Oh, that's cute.
All this stuff and everything. So
Wednesday.
That was cute. I forget what the girl's name is in the show, but she is playing Pip, and she is perfect. She is like, when I saw that she was Pip, I was like, oh my God. And her hair is brown, because in the show her hair was blonde. Like when I saw her, I was like, that is exactly how I imagined Pip. Like exactly how I imagined
that.
her.
And Ravi, the both of them, that's like the perfect, like she knew what she was doing. Also,
literally
did you know that there's a UK version and a US version of Good Girls Guide to Murder? Like I learned, I don't remember who told me, the one in the US takes place in like Connecticut or something, but the UK version, they like have British accents, and it takes place in UK world.
So nothing's different in the plot other than just where it takes place.
I don't know, because I didn't read the UK ones, but I heard that they're different, because I was like, do they have British accents? Because someone was like, I can't wait to hear her British accent. I was like, but I thought it took place in Connecticut in the United States.
Yeah, so I'm sure it'll take place in the US in this show. I just feel like it's going to. I don't know. We are going to get into some burning book questions. So burning, like you guys are burning to know all of this information.
Flames are going. So
I kind of thought about this as being like book topics that we don't normally like talk about in our videos. Like this just isn't these aren't things that just usually come up. Like we don't really just like take the time to talk about them unless it's something like this. And I thought, since obviously this is a podcast and you can kind of get more into it, whereas like in a video you'd either probably like cut the question completely, or you'd like kind of answer it in a short way and like not really discuss it. So I thought
like
it would
our
be
opinions
fun.
And stuff.
Yeah. Me. So did you look at any of the questions on the?
I only looked at the first few, but then I was like, I kind of want to just go into it blind.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're in an interview?
Only because you know the questions.
I'm like, are you ready? Well, I haven't looked back at them. Even like the questions that I just wrote down from the follower stuff, I like already forgot them because I think
so you don't have like your answers. You didn't write down any answers. Okay, good.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So first question is what we think about spice in books. And I thought this was an interesting question because I never like go into this topic and talk about it ever. I think it's just always awkward. Like, I don't know. It's an awkward topic, I feel.
Yeah.
Do you have a...
Yeah, I feel like there's always, like, you see people either, like, loving closed door, or there'll be, like, some people that going for the smut. But I think, personally, it doesn't bother me. If it ever gets, like, too much smut or detail, I could just skip over it. And I've noticed it never really changes the story. Yeah. It never really does anything. But... if there's too much that then takes away from the story, I'm like, because I like a story that has like depth to it, and like when it overpowers the story and like you do too much with it, then it's like, I could do without it, but it never really bothers me. I also don't care if there's none in it. Actually, sometimes I think it helps. Like, you know, when they're like deep into their relationship and then they're like their first time together, I feel like
I know what
more.
You mean. Yeah.
But yeah, it never really bothers me unless it's like, I don't know. I'm not picky with it.
Yeah. For me, I would say I'm the same exact way, where it's like, I will really read any book. It doesn't matter like what it has, but I will say I don't seek it out. Like, I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, this is like super whatever, because I'm just going to be honest. Like, I just skip it. Like, I really like, it's not something that I'm like, oh, whatever. It's like you said, it's more of a knowledge thing. Like, okay, I know that they did that, so like, let's move on. And sometimes in books, when it will start out like heavily based on their relationship, because that's more what I'm in the book for, is to like read about their relationship, not necessarily like them doing it, you know. Anyway.
Their sexual relationship.
I'm not there for that. So I will just kind of skip it. But then if I feel like it's going to the point where it's like every other chapter, for me personally, I'm just like, okay, I'm out of it, you know? Or if even before like they even do anything, if it just seems like it's very like physical based, it's just not my cup of tea. I like the emotional stuff way more than
me too. Sometimes though, I feel like by a thread, like when there's like, what's the word? Sexual tension, and it's like you're going like you're 300 pages in and you know they just really want to kiss. Sometimes then I'm like, ooh, I'm so excited for them to do stuff. I don't know.
I
that's
get
like
that, because I feel the same way. It's just more like I'm just not somebody that likes when there's just like a lot of it in a book, but I'm not gonna like not read a book because it has those scenes in it.
We're like in the middle.
It's like we won't not read books. It's just I just kind of ignore it most of the time unless it's like dire to the plot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You're saying the same thing. You know. We know. we know. Okay. Next question is why we hate or dislike certain book tropes. Like, what are book tropes that you really don't like and why?
I'm trying to think of some I don't like.
I can think of some.
You go first.
Mine, I think my top one is the miscommunication trope.
I was just gonna say, I know what you're gonna say.
Because to me, like, sometimes it works and I understand why an author has it because they're using it as a plot device. I'm like, okay, whatever. But when I can tell that maybe like an editor or a publisher has like told an author like you need a third act conflict, so they always throw a miscommunication in there that is so stupid and dumb and like doesn't need to be there, and it just like makes zero sense as to why it's there. Like, it's just something easy that they could have been like, oh yeah, like this person came and talked to me, like whatever, if they have somebody from like the past show up or whatever it is, and then the other person finds out about it and they think the other person's lying, and it's like turns into a whole third act breakup where they're broke up for like a month, and it's just so stupid. Or it's like a problem that they've already got through, but now all of a sudden it comes back up and they break up over it. You know what I mean?
That's you can tell when the author puts it in to like add more to the book. I'll knock a star off if it's one of those. Like if it comes out at the end and it's just so frustrating, But I feel like miscommunication's a good one.
No, it's my least favorite one with miscommunication is when in the book it's the girl or the guy that's like, I don't do relationships, and they're obviously in love with the other person and know that they are, and then so the author makes a third act conflict, them being like, no, I told you I don't do relationships. It's like, please be so for real, because if they genuinely loved each other, I would not be like, I said I don't do relationships. Like, I'd be like, oh no, wait, I found my person. I wouldn't be like, gotta throw this relationship away because I said I don't do relationships. You know what I mean? Like, that's my least favorite one when they do it. But what's yours?
I don't know, because some of the tropes that I don't love, an author could do it right and then I would enjoy it, but the ones that I don't seek out are single parent, accidental pregnancies. But again, I could read a book that has that in it and I would enjoy it. But when it's like the main plot of the book is that child, or oh my god, we're like 3/4 of the way through a book and pregnant randomly, she's pregnant, and I literally out of nowhere she's anyway, don't like that.
Oh yeah,
because it's like didn't expect it.
I don't seek that out either. Just like, I mean, there are tropes that I will read the book, but I don't like seek them out. Like, I'm not like, oh, it's a single parent trope, let me go buy that. Where like, as I do know that a lot of people like this single parent trope, but like I don't like the miscommunication, but like everyone was so surprised I gave Happy Place a 5 stars because the big thing is the miscommunication. But for that, I feel like it was used as a plot device. Made sense. And it was a lesson that was built into it. So that's what I told people too. I was like, I do hate miscommunication, but this one like made sense and was actually realistic. Like, if a miscommunication is realistic, then I'm fine with it. But when it's like I already said, but I don't search out like that, like accidental pregnancy or like single parent. I don't know. I'm just not that type of person.
But I could see how people like it. Another one that I used to not like was love triangle, but now I low-key like love triangles. I think it's fun.
I hate love triangles. Because my thing is like you can always tell which one's coming out on top. And it just feels it just feels like you're using and hurting the other person for no reason. Like, just like I hate when authors will, it's not like a love triangle, but it's like, because you know that the person has absolutely no shot. Like, you know they have no shot. I understood it in Magnolia Parks, but I was using that like as an example. It's more like I've read books before where like, say it's like years later, they haven't talked for years. I'm like rolling my eyes even though I eat that up. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, anyway. And like they meet each other again, and like one of them, like Love in Other Words. That is the one thing that I hate about Love in Other Words is like, her having a fiance is literally just a point of conflict for the book. Like he's barely even in it. And they exactly made it where you would not be connected to him at all. Like he's in it so little that you won't be connected to him, but he's just like a force of like why they can't be together type of thing.
That's another thing I don't like when authors throw in, like in the beginning of the book when the main character has a significant other and you know that they're gonna fall for the main male character, and it's like you're making the first significant other painted as a bad guy when it's really not their fault. You're just the poor guy. I don't know, I always feel so bad. And then you're like low-key, like the lines are blurred and it's like you're basically about to like cheat on them and then they break up, and it's like a whole plot line that's just so horrible.
Oh yeah, no, that I feel like that's just a given. I hate the cheating trope, especially when it's between the main characters, and I read 2 of those books this month already that had the cheating trope in
really?
it. And just
I know one of them.
On the flip side of the coin, what are book tropes that we love and wish there were more of / just love to see whenever it's in a book?
I think right now I'm just in a small town cowboy. I want all the small towns right now, every single one of them, but it's not usually my go-to. I think I like is it like a childhood friends to lovers, second chance are my favorites. I like when they have like a history and then they can come back together. I love seeing that.
I think I like childhood friends to lovers over second chance, because usually with a second chance, it's like there's a reason.
The reason has to be good.
And the reason has to be good, because if there's a big reason why they're not together, and then I feel like, you guys shouldn't be together, then it's like, that's why I'm a little iffy with second chance romance. But I love childhood friends to lovers, because most of the time it's just either like unrequited love, or there was something that why they couldn't be together and now they can be together years later, and there's more of like a sweet history between them type of thing. Cute. I love that one. I also love I love
friends to lovers.
I like friends lovers. I also love, but it's usually just in fantasy that I like the Who Did This to You. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you'll get me every time with that. Or when they say, there she is. Have you seen fantasy?
That? Yes.
Serpent and Wings did that.
It's specifically, there's, what book is it in Throne of Glass? There's a scene in Throne of Glass that happens. I also wanted to make one of my books Kingdom of Ash, but it's literally the last book in the series, and I was so scared that if you looked up a book quote you'd get a huge spoiler, so I was like, I can't do it, but I want to. I just love Throne of Glass so much. Anyway, what our favorite books mean to us / why we love them so much, like a reasoning, our favorite books and why we love them and all of that jazz. Go ahead and say
it. I won't say the name. I won't say it. We know. I like when I feel so bad. There's not one episode I haven't said the name.
But you know what? You love it, and that's fine. I think I talk about Spider-Man all the time, so who cares?
That's okay. I think when the characters and the story like makes me feel like even if it's like a frustrating story or anything, like if I want to throw that book across the room because of what they're doing, like at least that book made me feel something. And like when the characters feel real and like really connect to their story always makes me love a book. Or like once I finish it, I'm like, I could reread this many times and still probably love it. Like that's how I know I love a book. Like sometimes I'll read a book and I'm like halfway through and I'm like, I don't care if I even finish this book. Yeah. That's when I know I don't like it. But yeah, I think when I just like the book makes me feel something. I also love when there's like beautiful writing and like good quotes.
Yes.
Like more than just like a surface level story, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I like.
And I'm the same way. I think, like I said earlier, I think it's more of like an emotional thing with me, even though I'm probably like in real life, it's like pulling teeth for me to like actually provoke emotions with people. But I love reading it and seeing when people have an emotional connection. That means everything to me. Everything. And for lack of a better word, when the guy is a simp, It's gonna do it every single time. What genres are we intimidated by, and why?
Okay. I would say classics. Is that a genre?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Like when you go to Barnes, it says classics.
Yeah, classics. Dark romance. Because I want to read some of them, but then I'm like, it's probably too much for me. I haven't really read a true dark romance, I feel like.
What?
Like Haunting Adeline, like I want to read that really bad.
But that's more of like
But I'm scared of it.
I've read a lot of dark romances in my day.
Is that not?
No, it's like a different subcategory of a dark romance. I forget what it's called, but it's like way more intense.
Okay.
I read a few hundred pages of that book and then stopped.
Yeah, you never finished?
No. So classics and dark romance. Is there another genre? Or?
I'm trying to think of like what genres there are because I read 3. Romance, literary fiction. None that I'm like intimidated by, but I know I just don't like them as much as the ones I do read. I feel like nonfiction intimidates me. I'm not picking up a nonfiction. Actually, I just don't like nonfiction. It doesn't intimidate me.
And that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. That's okay.
I'm intimidated by like sci-fi because I will read fantasy, but I feel like there's a more complicated aura about sci-fi. Like there's a lot more of like, I feel like when you read fantasy and it's like, okay, yeah, we have the politics, but like with sci-fi, I feel like it's more like, this is how like this comes together and like all of that stuff. It's just like a lot more intimidating to me.
I think I've ever read a sci-fi book. What's a sci-fi book? Like an example.
Star
Wars?
Ready Player One is like a sci-fi.
I don't know what the book that is. Like Red Rising. Isn't Red Rising?
Yes.
Sci-fi? Okay, yeah.
Yes, Red Rising's a sci-fi as well. But yeah, it's just intimidating because I have a small pea-sized brain. So okay. What are some books that are coming up that we are most excited for and why?
Ooh, so many.
Really? I'm like coming a blank on it. I'm like, I don't know. I think all of my big ones. Oh, wait.
Curse of True Love.
Oh, yes.
I'm so excited to see how that plays out.
Me too. I can't wait.
Wait, the way I just put this in a video now, I forgot some of them too. The 5-Star Weekend already came out. I was excited for that one. I haven't read it yet. I forgot the other one that I put in that video. Magnolia Parks 3 comes out next year.
You're like, can't wait for that. Obviously mine is Crescent City 3. I feel like I've said that so much, but genuinely, that is the book.
Oh, and the second Fourth Wing. I haven't read the first one, but I know the second one.
Oh, yes, it comes out in November, and I'm so excited. So excited for it. Genuinely, I could cry. Okay.
I have until then to read it.
You have until the end of the month to read Fourth Wing. Because the fall time is going to be your Throne of Glass time.
My Sarah J. Maas universe time.
I have a lot to get Throne of Glass in less than a month. That whole entire series. Actually, I read it within like a week. Like the whole entire series.
Should I make it into a vlog? Is that like a series to vlog?
I think I read most of it in like videos. Cause one of them was my screen time video and then another one was my fantasy video that I read them in. It's just so hard to like non-spoiler it. If you wanted to do like maybe spoiler free for like Throne of Glass and then the rest of the video is like full spoilers. But the thing is that video would probably be like hours long because those books are not short. Oh my God. We'll
talk about it when it comes.
Listen, all I'm going to say is there's a specific scene that happens in Empire of Storms. I think it's Empire of Storms. That I just need you to read it. And
I'm just going to have you on FaceTime with me while I read it so I can just give you all my spoilers, reactions.
Oh my gosh. I literally would just sit there and start rereading. I want to reread it. Fourth Wing made me want to reread Throne of Glass so bad. Anyway.
Read some when I read it.
Oh, I'm going to. Okay. What book/books, if you want multiple, have impacted your life the most in like whatever way that you think?
I don't want to say it.
Just
really
don't feel bad about saying it. It's okay to love something. Was that your coffee?
Okay. No, that was the recorder. Thank God.
Oh, whew, I literally thought you were just so casual about your coffee spilling everywhere. I was about to be like, okay.
No, thank God. I do have to say Magnolia Parks. I think it just, you know how in books it says, it's very dramatic, how they say, you've ruined all other girls for me. No, because that series has ruined all other books for me. Like, that's on like the pedestal and no books live up to it. And I think it's just the way that she writes is just like, in my head, I just feel like she's like magical.
She does have beautiful writing. Beautiful writing.
I've never read writing like hers, and I don't think I'll ever be able to. You know, she's coming out with another off topic here. I listened to a podcast with her in it this morning, and she actually has another book. I don't know if it's going to be a series or something, but coming out. She said December. She doesn't know if that's the right timing. A whole other, like another world, like nothing Magnolia Parks related. I'm so excited.
She's probably just trying to like soft launch a different series that she's like writing.
I'm so excited.
Even though most authors just kind of like, no, that's not true. I was going to say they just kind of work on the series that they're in and then they go to other books, but that's not true because Sarah J. Maas is like still working on ACOTAR and Crescent City. Not Throne of Glass is finished.
That was my answer.
I'm trying to think of a book that like heavily and I feel like I'm going to say the same answers too. I'll try to switch it up and say Happy Place because genuinely like when I read that book, the quotes, her writing was already like, I already loved Emily Henry, but her writing in that book was so good. And I feel like the realistic depiction of what it is to be in like a long-term relationship and also in like a long-term friendship with people was so realistic to the point of like when you're so comfortable with people being in your life and kind of like that, like the miscommunication. 'Cause even though that trope annoys me, it's like in real life people miscommunicate all of the time. Like you're too scared to like say something to somebody, or maybe you just keep it inwardly when you really want to say something. And I just think that it was so good. And also just the relationship in that book was so sweet and like so wholesome, the way that they you know, loved each other for a long-term relationship. So I would say that one. All of Emily Henry's books. Beach Read also, because Beach Read was like a huge book. I remember just sitting in my room on my bed on my iPad, 'cause that's when I used to read books off of Libby, which is an app where you can like you basically put your library card in. Yeah, you like connect to your library and you download ebooks off of there, like same thing as a library system. And I used to just sit in my bed. It was my senior year of high school, and I used to just sit in my bed and read a bunch of books. And just that one was like one of them that made me love that genre again. So heavily impacted my life. That's why I'm here today. Thank you, Emily Henry.
Thank you.
Come on the podcast.
Happy Place is like oh my God, imagine. Happy Place was like the most relatable book I think I've ever read.
Yes, that book was one of the best of the year. I would have to sit down and think about that, but I do think it's one of the best of the year. If you had to, okay, I already know what your answer is going to be. If you had to get a tattoo for a book, what book would it be and what would the tattoo be?
It's like I can never, any bookish questions, it just goes back to it. I think I'm between like two for it. Magnolia Parks, guys. That's what I'm talking about. I wanted to get a little bee. There's a cutesy little bee, metaphorically.
You should have done that while you were in New York.
I know. I think because bees scare me, like the real things, but metaphorical sense, I love it so much because of that series. But then I saw this girl on TikTok got, what's the quote? The greatest undoing. What's the great undoing? Whatever that quote was. She got it tattooed on her arm, and I thought it looked so cute. So now I'm like, should I get a quote from it? Something from Magnolia Parks will be on my body one day. That's all I know. I'm so excited.
I love that for you.
Thank you so much.
You should go. I'm like too scared to get an actual tattoo.
Oh yeah, I'm scared too, but I want to do it.
But the thing is that I feel like if I love something this deeply, like it will always mean something to me. You know what I mean? Because my worst fear is like getting a tattoo and then years later being like, oh my God, why did I get this tattooed on me?
Well, I love that it's like it shows like that point of your life, what you were like loving or whatever impacted you. I think that's sweet.
That's what I was about to say. It meant something at that point in my life, so it was good. Yeah. I don't know. I would like to find something from Akamov, like in a dainty, picturesque type of way, because there's not necessarily any quotes, because to all the stars that listen, cute quote, I just wouldn't get it tattooed on my body. It's a little cringy, but I love ACOTAR, but I just wouldn't get that specific quote. I would like to get something that's either like, I've seen like the little stars that people put and everything like that. I would, however, if I were to get a quote, I would get the quote from Throne of Glass.
Favorite darling.
Imagine I got that tattooed on me. But I would get either 2 different quotes from Throne of Glass, and they're non-spoiler, but they're a huge thing once you've read the series, which is "You do not yield," or "I will not be afraid." And I've seen people get it like right here.
Yeah, I think I've actually seen someone that has it.
Yeah, they get it like right here. Like I've seen people do this, but I kind of thought like dainty cursive like at the back of my arm above my elbow for something like that. I thought it would just be cute because it's also inspiring.
Yeah,
it means
it's a cute
something.
quote.
So yeah, it's a very cute quote. Okay, last one of these questions. If you had to choose only one of your favorite book series to be adapted into a movie/TV series, what would it be and why? Ooh. You can only choose one.
Okay, hold on, I have to look at my books. Okay, I feel like I would want to pick a fantasy. I feel like fantasies turned movies or books would be really good. Okay, I would pick either the Shatter Me series, because I've seen people like make like almost like a trailer on TikTok for, and I love dystopian movies. Anyway, I won't get into it, but I think Shatter Me, dystopian movies, I think that would be really great. Or I almost said Six of Crows as if it's not already a show. I think maybe the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I feel like that'd be cool as like a little. I feel like the scenery would look cool.
Yes.
Like visually in a movie or a show. Those are my answers.
I'm very torn.
Okay.
Very torn because when I think of this, like for example, when I see like The Love Hypothesis or like a Beach Read got turned into a movie, I'm just kind of like, okay, because I mean Hallmark's probably done something like that 1,000 times. You know what I mean? Like I love
that's
the
why
book,
I do want to pick romance.
but romances are kind of whatever. I think I would die if Addicted Calloway got turned into like a Netflix series, but specifically with the people that everybody has fan casted, because I think that the fan casts are absolutely perfect. And if they weren't fan casted the way that we have all fan casted them, I wouldn't want to watch it because I'm just attached to like those people being the characters.
And it has to be shot as a reality show. It can't be shot as like a little.
It has to be
shot like they're real.
Yes, it has to be shot like We Are Calloway, even though it has to be shot like We Are Calloway, and then when it goes into the whole entire like Princess of Philly plot line, it like they just kind of show flashbacks to it. Anyway, love that. Also, I would say ACOTAR, and I know it's annoying, but I don't care. But the thing is that Hulu bought rights to ACOTAR to turn that into a series that's like been going on for a while, so I just don't know if like that's gonna be a thing. But my problem and dilemma with that is that I don't want it to be real people. I just don't think anyone could do Reason justice. I genuinely, or Azriel or Cassian, I just don't think anybody could do it.
Okay, I understand. I think I agree.
Have you ever seen The Invitation? Invitation? The movie?
No, what's
it's
that?
Like a vampire movie. It came out last year.
Mm-mm.
It's like, I never watched it, but people went feral over it when it was in the movie theater. And the main guy in that movie, people are like, he should be Reason. He should be
No.
I'll stop.
What's
you guys.
his name?
Look up The Invitation.
Okay.
It's like
it was a movie that came out?
Yeah, it came out last year. It's on
The
Netflix.
Invitation images. Okay. Oh, Henry. Is that his? Just kidding. That's not his name. I'm thinking.
Not Henry Cavill. Is that who you were thinking? Or Cobble.
I've seen this guy. Where's this guy been in?
He's also in Gossip Girl. Before?
Oh, that's how I know him. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. No. Like, I agree.
The disrespect I feel when people did that.
Well, I saw the people were making like AI versions of them, and I think that's the most realistic you could get with the characters. Like, it wouldn't be like a cartoon. I feel like the AI characters do them justice.
And that's what I would like. That's all I'm asking for, guys. That's all I'm asking for Hulu. Just AIM. But anyway, so now we're going to get into the followers' questions. I kind of picked
y'all's
these
questions
in a fast manner. What is a book that you think is underrated? Like, you don't see a lot of people talk about it.
I always say Ghosted by J.M. Darhauer. I think that book is so good. Like, it just feels really real. I think it's second chance, single parent, but the storyline is just so beautiful. I loved it.
I think for me, I read a book last year and it was called Bittersweet Memories, and I never talk about it, but I gave it like a 4.75, and I never see anybody talk about it. I found it off of a TikTok that had like a little scene from it, and that TikTok didn't even have like, I think it had like a few thousand likes on it, like not even like, it wasn't like going viral or anything. Yeah. But I saw it and then I read it, and I don't see anybody talk about the book ever.
What's it about? Is it a romance?
Yes, and it's a then and now, second chance, billionaire. It's all the tropes. It's really good. I really like it. I really like that book. So everybody can go read that. When you finish books, do you need time to process, or can you go directly into another one?
I do not want to be in reality. I go right into the next one. Like, I mean, unless it's like one of those like 5 stars that I have to like go on like a TikTok rabbit hole, but I'm immediately going into another book. I like have to.
Yeah, I would say the same. I would say it definitely depends, because if I'm in a reading mood, I'll just go directly into another book. It really doesn't, because I can separate the entities of different books. Like, I can like, there's no problem in me like mashing the two together, or like not liking the other one now because I read that one. Usually if I really love a book, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll just go directly into another one because I'm in the mood to read. But if it's like a 5-star, I have to sit and think about this type of book, then no, I can't go directly into another one.
Sometimes I need like a brain break. I'll just like go on TikTok for the rest of the day and then start the book eventually, but I'm fine with going book to book.
Yeah. Okay. If you could change the end of any book, what would it be and why?
That's a good one. I don't know. I'm trying to think of endings of these books.
I would say As Good as Dead, because the only reason that book was not a 5 stars was because of the way it ended off, and like the ending part of that book. I would rewrite that, and I've said that before, and I will stand by that. I would rewrite that.
I think Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, because that was a really good read.
And then the end went on a little bit too.
They took
so many,
but that book is so good. But I would change the end. I'd probably give it 5 stars. It was so good.
What is a book/series you used to love but don't anymore? I'd probably say November 9th by Colleen Hoover. I used to like be obsessed with that book, and then now I don't.
Yeah, I feel like any of the books I used to talk about in 2019.
What character in a book do you feel that you most relate to? Like, what's a character that you've read and you're like, that's me?
Harriet. Like, I remember texting you and I was like, I think Emily Henry was like, let's write a book about Sara. Like, seriously, everything that she went through, I was just like, this is uncanny. How, like, relatable.
It sounds weird to, like, say, I don't know. And no, it's not weird. But I feel like Jacob from Yours Truly, like, all of his thoughts are thoughts that I'm constantly having. And it felt like reading. It felt like reading myself on a page. Being in your head. Yes, and being in my head and seeing almost like from an outside perspective of like what it is to be in a relationship with me in a type of way, because I was like, oh no, everything is like me.
I think she did such a good job depicting like that in a relationship too, and like having a partner that understands you, because I've never read a character or been in a character's head that was like that. It was so good.
Oh yeah, and I did appreciate that too, the way that she wrote the relationship in a way where like he wasn't wrote to be like a burden. Like, it wasn't like, oh my god, this is like something that we need to fix. Do you know what I mean? Like, usually when I've read that somebody's like that, they're like, I need to fix this, it's like some people just live like this.
That's just how he is.
like let's start to just try to like understand and be like accommodating towards a partner. And I really appreciated that and really loved that. And that's why I really love that book. What is a book you will never read?
Ooh, never read.
You're like, I will never read that book, respectfully.
Probably. I'm trying to think of books everyone else is. Maybe like My Dark Romeo. I just don't think I like books like that. You know that book?
The one we were just talking about, My Dark Romeo.
Oh, not My Dark Romeo. My Dark Vanessa.
Oh yeah, I was like, Sarah, you read that book? Like, are you talking about books like that?
My Dark Vanessa, because I remember Lauren was reading it when we lived together, and I read that book. Think books like that. Yeah, she would show me some scenes and stuff. It's just I understand the. It's
on the same vibe book, as like Lolita, the classic. That's a classic.
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah. It's like the same thing where it's like kind of grooming. It's very triggering. That's a very triggering
I think that's
book.
Why. Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
I'll say Credence by Penelope Douglas.
Oh. Sometimes books like that, I'm like, I kind of want to see what's going on, but yeah.
I will never read a taboo romance. I think that's what they're called. Just personally, listen, not to yuck anybody's yum. That's not what I'm trying to do. This book, this question, I thought was funny when I read it.
Okay.
Who would win in a fight? I'm guessing that it doesn't mean like a physical fight. Maybe like a discussion, because I'm like, what? Sara defending Magnolia Parks or Des defending Akatar? Like, who would win? Like, do you think?
I just know I wouldn't stop. Like, I wouldn't agree to disagree if we're fighting over this. I would run my mouth to the ground. Like,
oh yeah.
But I don't know who would win because we both like, I feel like this same level of love.
What is a red flag in a book that will make you stop reading it? Like you read something and you're like, I can't keep going.
I don't know. Sometimes it's hard because there's some characters that are just like written to be that kind of character, and I'm like, they're not real, so I could read I don't know. But I think I was reading a book the other day, and the way the character was just like, not a red flag. I was just getting the ick. You ever get an ick when you're reading?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not a red flag, but I think he was giving me the ick so bad that when they started doing things, I was like physically cringing. And it's not a red flag. It's just like, ugh, like, you know, I wanted to stop so bad.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know any red flag. Maybe when they're gaslighting. But like sometimes like that's put in the story. Like that's just how their character is. Like maybe they're just a bad character.
But that's okay for that to be your red flag. Like it doesn't matter if that's why the character is written that way. I think mine would be probably just like if the guy was just like when I've read books and if they're doing stuff and consent is questionable, I automatically shut the book. I'm like, why are we even? What is your favorite place /spot to read?
Just outside. Like it could be on the beach or just like on my deck or anywhere outside. I just like being outside. I
am the opposite. I would say in my bed in the solidarity of my room. Because it's so embarrassing if I am reading around somebody like my parents or anybody and then I start laughing or like giggling. They're like, what's happening? And I'm like, I don't know. Stop asking.
Whenever I'm in my room,
the
chances of me going on my phone are high. So I like to like step outside of here.
Oh yeah. I also like to go to like Starbucks or Barnes because I feel like if I'm not at my house, I'm like, okay, this is what you're here to do. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah, me too.
Do you count DNFs as a read book or not? I count it. Let me tell you why. Because I suffered. If I DNF'd a book, it takes a lot for me to DNF, genuinely. And I will tell you that I read at least close to 50% of the book. And to me, if you have read like 50% or pretty darn close or more than that in DNF a book, that means that you read it.
Yeah, I see
So
that.
I count them as reads. Like if somebody was like, I read 100 and something books this year and 5 of them were DNFs, I wouldn't be like, oh, then you only read this many books. I'd be like, okay, yeah, makes sense. I wouldn't even like think twice about it.
Yeah. Um, in my head, I like have to finish the book for it to count, but I agree with what you're saying. Like you did put in the work to get to that point, and
Yeah.
because I almost DNF'd a book the other day, and I was like, I'm like 75% of the way through this book. I could finish, but it was like horrid. But I ended up skimming the rest of it. And either way, if I didn't skim the rest, it basically counts the same as if I DNF'd it. Like I barely read the rest of the book and I
Yeah.
still rated it. So I feel like I could have DNF'd it and then also rated it the same thing that I did anyway. I think I should change my mindset from that because you did read majority of the
Yeah.
book. I don't need to
Which
know the ending.
I will say though, like I've seen some people that are like making like full on reviews and they stopped at like chapter 4 of a book. And I'm like,
Yeah.
respectfully, you only have an opinion of like the 4 chapters that you read because you didn't even get to like a part. I feel in certain books that it's like,
Yeah, I feel like you can't, or at least I probably won't DNF unless I'm halfway and it's like unbearable to
oh
continue.
yeah.
But it takes a lot for me to DNF a book. Like I'll see it through the end if I have to.
Oh no, that's me. Like really genuinely, I think I've only DNF'd like 3 books this year because I used to not have any DNFs because I would just read the book. But I was like, genuinely, if I'm like halfway through the book and I'm just not enjoying a single part of it, why do I keep going?
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
sometimes I'll put it down at the moment because it's just not the book I want, but it's like a soft DNF. It's like I'll come back
Yeah.
eventually.
And there's some of those too where maybe I just know like I'm not in the mood or I'll come back to this at another time. It's not like a I'm never picking this book back up
Yeah.
type of thing. Do you feel pressure to like popular books?
I don't think so. I feel like I don't think so. No. I don't know my
I feel like
reasoning.
I
I just feel
used
like
to. I feel like I definitely used to.
yeah, I feel like if I don't like a book, I don't want to pretend that I like it 'cause it just feels so wrong. I feel like
Yeah.
if it's a popular book, like I can always see how people like the book and like listen to their opinions of liking it, but like if I personally don't agree, like I'm good with giving it a 2 or a 3 if everyone's like 5 starring a book. It's your own
Yeah.
opinion at the end of
Yeah.
the day.
And that's the thing. It's like I'm not putting down the people who like the book because I'll never do that. I'll never be like, I hated this book. And like, if you liked it, then you have something wrong with you because that's just
Yeah,
why are we doing
not
that?
nice.
But it's like I can separate not liking the book and still respecting like why somebody else likes it type of thing.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like it. And that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't need
I
to.
agree.
Who is an auto buy author from you?
Um, wow. I feel like Elsie Silver. I don't know who my auto-buy authors are. Maybe Carissa Broadbent. I really love her writing.
I would say Emily Henry and Abby Jimenez. I just know that I'm always going to like buy their books no matter what it
Yeah.
is.
I feel like there's no other authors that. Oh, Lucy Score. Girl, I'm buying all her books.
Literally me right now. Every time she comes
Oh,
out with a new cover, I'm
and
like, bye.
yeah, and Alice Feeney. I'm reading all her
Oh
books.
yeah. Yeah. Do you annotate books slash what makes you annotate a book?
I always make sure I have a pen on me when I'm reading a book, but I feel like I don't start annotating until I know that I want to annotate the book. I don't know if that makes sense. Like sometimes I'll read a book and even though it's good, I don't want to write in it. But if it has like good quotes and like stuff like that, then I'll start annotating. I don't know, it's weird. I just like know like when I'm reading a book if I want to underline stuff or not.
Yeah. For me, I only annotate if it's a reread and I'm going into it because I want to annotate and tab it. Any other time if I'm annotating a book, I'm not tabbing it usually.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like underlining. So it's like
I
light
started
annotations.
yeah, I started recently in tabbing a few books because I didn't want to write in it. So I was like, I might as well tab the scene instead of writing in it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure if I wanted to underline. Because I'm always like, what if someone asked me to read this book? I get so like uncomfortable if they read my annotations. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Same. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy you it. You can
Yeah. Like
get a copy.
last summer, Chris's sister borrowed my Every Summer After book and she's reading it in the kitchen. I walk past and I just see like writing in it and I'm like, did I annotate that? And she's like, yeah, I'm loving seeing your thoughts in it. I'm like, oh my God, I did not know I did that. It was
You're
so
like,
embarrassing.
you look at yourself and you're like, oh God, I can't believe
It was so embarrassing. And I had to watch her read it. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing.
Okay, this is the very last question.
Okay.
Which is, what is a perfect book structure to you? Now, for example, it's
Ooh.
like the font size. Is it a matte cover? Is it this type of cover? What makes a book perfect when you look at it?
Okay. I like me a matte cover. I saw a glossy covered book today, and I was like, this looks so odd. I feel like most books are matte, right?
Well, matte is like the soft, like where you touch it and it has that soft. That's like matte. The rest of them are just like normal, and then there's glossy.
Okay, well, I saw a glossy book today, and I was like, I haven't seen one of these in a while. I guess I like the plain ones, the regular.
Yeah.
What, um, I think the font, I don't know font sizes, but I know it can't be the size of Binding 13.
Oh no, that it's just inexplicable
That,
how small that is.
yeah. Structure-wise, I like when stories get right to the plot. Like, I don't want the background. Give me the background while we're going through the book.
Yeah.
Um, and then I like dual, if it's like this kind of tropes in a book, I like dual like timelines. Like I like when they give like background in that little point of view rather than just like throwing in, oh, like this happened a few years ago. Like I want depth in it. And like
Yeah.
no third act breakup unless it's like reasonable. Um that's like I guess like a romance structure that I like. I want pain.
I
Sometimes I like pain in books.
that's wild. That's wild. I can't. Respectfully, I can't. For me, the book has to be very floppy. If it's stiff, I hate
Mhm.
it because I just feel the
I
need
just
to
cracked
just completely do one of these. I have to like
I
do that.
cracked
And
my
it's still
first
not
spine the other
floppy.
day. Yeah.
It's still not
No,
floppy though
yeah.
when you do that. It's just that you can hold it a little bit better.
Yeah.
I would just like just the regular covers. I want the font size to be big. When the
Okay.
font size is big, it does something to my brain. I don't know why.
Well, we want
And
short chapters. I didn't add that.
yeah, short chapters and dual POV. And I'm happy.
Yeah,
I
okay.
always went dual
Agree.
POV,
Hmm.
always. But those are the questions that we had, little burning book questions. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was so much fun.
That was so much fun. Were they burning enough for
Were
us?
they burning? Was it okay? I was about to get really descriptive. But for our little end of the episode fun thing,
This
me
one
and
I'm
Sarah
excited
gave,
for.
yeah, I know, me too. But I'm scared because it's going to be so embarrassing if I can't guess all of the quotes. Especially especially Akamoff. If I got that wrong, I think I would actually click off. I think I would actually. Okay.
We gave each
But
other 5 different books, and we went through each one and we chose quotes from them, and we're going to read them off and try to guess which book that we gave it's from. We try to pick
yes.
different ones that we usually talk about too, so that's not the same 5 we always give. So this should be fun. So for mine, there's Kiss the Sky, Six of Crows, Shatter Me, or Ignite Me.
Yeah.
Did I say? Ignite
Yeah.
Me, Flawless, and If He Had Been With Me. And then Destiny's was Happy Place, Addicted After All, Daisy Jones, Daisy Hates, The Great Undoing, and Akamoff. So those are our 5.
How do you feel about me having a Magnolia Parks book series up there?
I was gonna say, I thought I texted, did I not text it to you? You should have seen me sitting there for a half hour just going through my annotations for that book. I was
I
like,
sent
you
Sarah down a
really,
rabbit hole. She's like, oh, great.
yeah.
I guess I have to flip through every single book again and read all of my
No,
annotations. So I'm scared because I also hate reading quotes from books. It's vulnerable to me, and I don't like being vulnerable.
I agree. Well, I chose ones I feel like they're kind of vague, but I feel like the writing of some, you may just like, I don't know, pick up on the author's writing.
Okay. Okay. I'm so scared. I feel like nauseous.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like this quote is so obvious.
Okay.
Whatever. I'll say it. Okay. I hate reading quotes. Okay.
I know, me too.
I just have to do it. I can't do it. I genuinely can't. Yes, you can. Okay. This is so annoying to everyone who's listening. They're like, Jesus, just spit it out already. When everyone knows you're a monster, you needn't waste time doing every monstrous thing.
Everyone knows you're a monster. Is that Six of Crows?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what it's
that was
pertaining to.
giving.
I can't remember. Yeah. Needn't,
I don't either.
When it said needn't, you needn't do that. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's what I like knew.
God. Yeah.
Okay. Here's mine. Okay. When I don't like reading quotes either. When someone's presence gives you energy, when it riles up something in you, you can turn that energy into lust or love or hate. I felt most comfortable hating her. It was my only choice.
Is that Daisy Jones?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one was like, hard because it's like everyone's just quotes. Like it's not really like a story quotes. It's like dialogue.
I remember as soon as you started that quote, I remembered like the part of that book. I love that book so much. I love it so much. Okay. I hate reading these. Okay. You're not a pit stop. You're my finish line. There is no one after you.
Is that Kiss the Sky?
Yes.
I love Connor. I love him so much. Okay.
I'm scared. I feel like I'm going to get one wrong and I'm going to immediately get embarrassed.
Okay.
That sounds evil, that laugh. You're like,
okay, ready?
No.
I don't like reading. This is so uncomfortable. Okay. Steadfast, a word that I would never describe myself as. Dependable, loyal, a constant in the world of unstable variables.
Wait, my brain didn't even comprehend that quote.
Don't we never did it again?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Steadfast, a word that I would never describe myself as. Dependable, loyal, a constant in the world of unstable variables.
This makes no sense to me. I'm genuinely, because I guess I don't get the quote is what's happening.
Do you want me to say it again?
No, like I don't get in the quote if they are describing themselves as these things or if they're not describing themselves as these things.
Oh no, they are. They're just like realizing that this is what they are.
It could literally be any of these books. I don't want to guess. I feel like I'm going to get this wrong. I don't feel like it's Addicted After All.
Okay.
Oh my God, what if it is Addicted After All, though? I'm going to die. This is not fun.
Which one do you choose?
I don't feel like it's Daisy Hates either. I don't feel like out of all the quotes of Daisy Hates, you would choose this.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you.
You're like, okay, girl. I don't know. Hold on. Where did you find these quotes at?
I looked through my annotations of these books. Like, I've underlined all of these.
Okay. I'm sorry. This is taking me such a long time because I also forgot the quote.
It's okay. Do you want me to say it again?
No. Is it Happy Place?
Mm-mm.
What is it?
Addicted After All.
I was going to say that. Jesus. Was it Lowe's POV?
Yeah. It was when they were actually. Well, everyone knows at this point. They were.
I was literally going to say that because the beginning, and then you said no, they're describing. I literally hate myself. This is friendship and this is love, but I already know what they have. But I already know what they have not learned yet. How dangerous friendship is. How damaging love can be.
Huh. What did they say? This is friendship. This is love.
But I already know what they have not learned yet. How dangerous friendship is. How damaging love can be.
Is that? Oh. Is that Flawless?
No.
Oh. If He Had Been With Me?
Yes.
Okay, that was my other guess. I don't remember that part.
I don't know the context of that one, but.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's see which one I should do next. I did not mind stepping out of the shadows, did not mind even being in the shadows to begin with, so long as he was with me. My friend through so many dangers, who had fought for me when no one else would, even myself.
This is very troubling for many reasons to me.
Okay.
Because,
do you want me to say it again?
No. The mention of the shadows.
Okay.
Obviously, we have Rezand, who is the whole entire night thing, and for most of Akamoth, they're just kind of friends.
So really stick with your gut here.
Now you just messed me up. Can you say it again?
Yep. I did not mind stepping out of the shadows, did not mind even being in the shadows to begin with, so long as he was with me. My friend through so many dangers, who had fought for me when no one else would, even myself.
Is it Akamoth?
Yeah.
Okay, because it reminded me of Under the Mountain, and then the shadow. I knew it.
I was going to give you a quote from chapter 54 or 55, but I was like, she's going to get it.
Oh, yeah. I would have got that immediately. I'd have been like, okay. This one's so obvious, but it's fine. I am no longer afraid of fear, and I will not let it rule me. Fear will learn to fear me.
Shatter me?
Yes.
Oh, ignite me, I meant.
Yeah, ignite me. That one was so, it was like, I feel like her writing and like her quotes were just memorable for what happened in those books.
Okay, here we go. Best I can do is act like she means nothing to me. Pretty hard to do when she means it all.
Daisy hates The Great Undoing. Is that what it is?
There were so many good quotes I was going to pick, but I couldn't.
Do you want to know why that was a dead giveaway? Because Happy Place doesn't have his point of view, does it?
Oh, no, it doesn't. I gave myself away.
I wouldn't have got that if you wouldn't have left it for the... No, actually I would have, because I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, this was like more towards the end.
Yeah, when he was really like...
Down
I can't.
bad.
My Julian heart can't take it. Okay. Well, now you just have one more quote.
Okay, so this is going to be flawless.
Flawless was, you were out there this whole time, and now I know you exist, and I can never go back and wouldn't want to if I could.
Aw. All right.
Aw.
That's cute.
Aw. Little bull rider.
Okay, the happy place one was, I find it easier to fulfill other people's expectations than to set my own. Should I say that again?
I feel like I would have got that.
Yeah.
Because like the whole entire central point of that book is like, yeah. Well, that was anxiety inducing, but also fun at the same time. I don't know.
That was a fun little game.
It was. That was my favorite one that we've done.
Yeah. Let us know any other little games you want us to do at the end.
Yeah, guys, we're desperate to know what we should do at the end, because
send us some ideas. Send us
ideas. So, but that is the conclusion of today's episode.
I was just going to say conclusion.
Yes. Oh my God.
How funny.
We're sharing the same brain cell here. But thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If you guys liked it, don't forget to review on Apple and Spotify. I'm still deep into this and don't know exactly what you're supposed to do with podcasts and reviewing the system, but
leave us a review.
That's fine.
Anyway.
And follow Sarah's socials, follow my socials, follow the podcast. We have a YouTube channel where you can see the visualness of this if you want to see it. And we appreciate you guys sticking by us and listening and grabbing your drinks of the episode and sitting and chatting with us. And I love when an episode goes live and everyone's like, my drink of the episode. It's
so cute. I've been seeing ones that tag us and it says that they're drinking their watered down drinks, and I'm like, I feel so seen. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. All the links that she just talked about is in our Instagram bio too, if you need all
and
of
it's
them.
In the description of all YouTube videos, and it's actually in the description of Spotify as well, if you guys.
That's a slay.
And so thanks for watching, guys. We will see you guys next Thursday as always.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.